Are they documented in the Bible? Did God give religion or did man make a religion? Are you really serving God or are you serving man, the so-called white man, the devil, your slave masters, which gave you these religions? Today, we're going to find out. All right. So, religion. Let's get the definition of religion. Comes from religio. Let me send that to you. Actually, let's start with Deuteronomy 4, verse 44.
Yes, sir. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 44. And this is the law which Moses set before the children of Israel.
And this is the what?
This is the law which Moses set before the children of Israel.
And this is the law which Moses set before the children of Israel. So Moses set a law between the Israelites. He did not give us a religious law, statutes, and commandments to govern our minds, to govern our thoughts, to govern our actions, to govern our community. He gave us civil laws, moral laws. He gave us ceremonial laws. He gave us sacrificial laws. He gave us high holy day. There's so many different laws that Moses instituted. God gave Moses to give to the children of Israel. So where's it get religion? Where did religion come from? No, religion is man-made based upon serving of other gods, idolatry. So now, religion means to bind, to refrain, to restrain, to bind, to discipline. Comes from the Latin word religios. Now, was the religion of the Bible the same religion that the world portrays? Is it the same thing as the Christian church? Is it the same thing as the Muslim church? Is it the same thing? We're going to find out. Let's go to 1 Maccabees chapter 2, verse 19.
The book of 1 Maccabees in the Apocrypha, chapter 2 and verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
And Matthias answered and spake with a loud voice.
Mm-hmm.
Though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him.
So what chapter was this? The book of the Maccabees was taken out of the Apocrypha. I'll say it again. The book of Maccabees, which you could find in the Apocrypha, in our original 1611 King James Bible version, has the Apocrypha located in it. Now, like I said, in the late 1780s, the 1700s, you had the Protestant Christians, a religious institution, a religious group, take out the book, the Apocrypha, from the original translation. Why would they do that? If it's already part of the Bible says not to take or to remove from the Bible, or you shall be condemned. So they removed the book, which pertains to Greek captivity when Alexander the Greek came in power, and with Antiochus Epiphanes, which we'll read about right now. All right? Again.
Then Matthias answered and spake with a loud voice.
Mm-hmm.
Though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him, and fall away every one from the religion of their fathers.
So all the nations obey Antiochus Epiphanes and fall away to the religion from the religion of their fathers, and fall away everyone from the religion of their followers. So everybody was following the Greek religion. It's called Hellenization. They was following the customs of the Greeks. The Greeks' gods, they was celebrating, they was following. They was celebrated their feast days, their customs. They was all partaking in orgies, their sports, all these things the Greeks partook in, or the other nations partook in, as well as the Israelites.
And give consent to his commandments.
And gave consent unto his commandments. Gave consent unto the king's commandment. Because a lot of you think that you're following after the commandments of God. No. You're following after the commandments of who? The nation that resides over you, the ruling class, the dominant nations. What they say to do, you do. You follow after their religion. You consent after their commandment. God says to do this. You says, no, I don't want to wear. God says a woman not to wear pants. That which pertains to a man. You say, you know what? I don't want to do that. I want to wear pants because why? In the 1960s or in the 1800s, Amelia Bloomberg said it's all right to wear pants. A white man commercialized it in the 1960s. So because the times have changed, it's old from biblical days. So it said the Bible says the law perisheth not and standeth forever. But you says the white man gave me the authority to wear my pants. So you listen to the commandment of the king. Go on.
Yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers.
Yeah, but I and my son, this is Mattathias, and my brethren will walk in the command of our fathers. They refuse to follow the commandments of the king. Go on.
God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances.
God forbid that we shall forsake others as well as the ordinances. Go on.
We will not hearken to the king's words to go from our religion.
We will not hearken unto the king's words to go from our religion. To go from our religion. Go on.
Either on the right hand or the left.
Okay. Either on the right hand or the left. So now, what is our religion? It's the laws and ordinances of our Father. That was under the old covenant, the Old Testament. Our religion was the laws of our Father, which bound us, which disciplined us, which kept us intact, kept us in order, kept us from our lusts, kept us from our flesh. All right. Now let's see if it changed in the New Testament, because people have the tendency to say that was the Old Testament, that was the old times. Things have changed. Under Christ, we can be a Baptist, we can be a Christian. Come as you are, whatever you want. There's different ways to come to Christ. Now, let's get Acts 26, verse 5.
The book of Acts, chapter 26 and verse 5. Which knew me from the beginning, if they would testify that after the most straightest sect of our religion,
after the most straightest sect of our religion, read,
I lived a Pharisee.
So Paul said the straightest sect after his religion, the Jews' religion, he lived as a Pharisee. The Pharisee was what came from the Syrians, which were following the laws with Mattathias, the Maccabees, or the Hasmonean dynasty. They came and kept those practices. In the New Testament, they are categorized under the order of the Pharisee or Pharisaical order. So this is straight sect of our religion. Now, what is their religion? Let's get Galatians chapter 1, verse 13.
Galatians chapter 1 and verse 13. For ye have heard of my conversation in time past in the Jews' religion.
Ye have heard of my conversation in times past in the Jews' religion. The Jews have a religion. Go on.
How that beyond measure I persecuted the church of God.
So Paul says, beyond measure, in the Jews' religion, he persecuted the church of God. Go on.
And wasted it.
So there's a conversation in Acts 26. You have heard in times past, this conversation was in my religion. Now he's saying in his religion, he persecuted the church of God and wasted it. Go on.
And profited in the Jews' religion above many my equals in mine own nation.
And profited in the Jews' religion above many my equals in my own nation. Many my equals in my own nation. Paul profited above all many. Go on.
Being more exceedingly zealous the traditions of my fathers.
So it says, and profited in the Jews' religion above many my equals. Now, what is the Jews' religion? You read downwards. It says, being more exceedingly zealous of the traditions of my fathers. So the Jews' religion is the traditions of his father. Get Acts chapter 22 now, verse 3. What is the tradition of the fathers? So let's see if the Jews' religion changed from the old covenant to the new covenant. Different meaning is given to it. Go on.
Chapter 22 and verse 3. I am verily a man which am a Jew, born in Tarsus, a city in Cilicia, yet brought up in this city at the feet of Gamaliel, and taught according to the perfect manner of the law of the fathers.
And taught according to the perfect manner of the law of the fathers. Go on.
I was zealous toward God, and ye all are this day. Sorry,
So
as
when
ye
it
all are this
says
day.
the tradition of the fathers, when he said that in the Jews' religion, the tradition of the fathers, the tradition of the father is the law of the fathers. Our traditions were always the laws of God. I'll say it again. Our traditions were always the laws of God. It says, and of the law of the fathers. But in Mark 7, read that, Mark 7 now, verse 6.
The book of chapter 7 and verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
He answered and said unto them, well hath Esaias prophesied of you, hypocrites, as it is written, these people honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
Verse 7. Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men.
Howbeit in vain they do worship God, teaching commandments, doctrines of men. So for teaching for doctrines, the commandments of men. So we just read that under Antiochus Epiphanes during the time period of the Maccabees. What happened? It says, many consent unto the king's religion. Many left the laws of the father to follow the commandments of the king, to follow the commandments of the king, meaning laws established by the Greek Empire. It says here, if they do worship me, meaning they worship God in vain. Teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. During the time of the Greeks, the commandments of men was Antiochus Epiphanes' commandment that he gave out. This is the king's commandment. Just like today, whatever continent you live in, whether it's the continent of Africa, Europe, or America, whoever is the ruler empire, superpower over there, or the dominated force, guess what? You're following the commandments of men and not God. Because the dominated religion is all man-made. None of it extends from the Bible. None of it's biblical. Where can you find the Baptist church in the Bible? Where can you find the modernized Christian church in the Bible? You cannot. Or Islam, Mormonism, Rastafarianism. Where can you find these religions in the Bible? Now, read on.
For laying aside the commandments of God.
So you lay aside the commandments of God. You say, God says to keep my commandments. God says to keep the Passover. And in the New Testament, Paul says to keep the feast. We have Day of Atonement, when we're blowing the trumpet, new moons, which is a law. You have Feast of Tabernacles. All these customs we have in the Bible. But what do? You say, I want to keep Christmas. I want to keep Mother's Day. I want to keep Father's Day. Because why? It was authorized as a national holiday with the ruling empire. The commandments of man. That's what you follow. Go on.
Ye hold the tradition of men as the washing of pots and cups.
So during this time, it was the Pharisees holding the traditions of men, but it applies today. You hold the tradition of men. I'll say again, ye hold the traditions of men. Ye hold the traditions of men and not the traditions of the fathers. So you hold the traditions of men. These are the traditions of the men. These are the men's religions in which you partake in. And we're going to go over that in a second. You got John Smith, which is head over created the Baptist religion. And you're gonna, like I said, we're going to go through all these. So you hold the traditions of men. John Smith over the Baptist religion. You have, wait, pull that up again. And slavery. Yeah, Joseph Smith, the creator of the Mormonism. What was that? 1830. Where were we? In slavery. Ellen G. White, the mother of Seventh-day Adventist religion. 1863. Where are we? In slavery. Charles T. Russell, the father of Jehovah's Witness, 1872. Where were we? In slavery. You also have Charles Perman, Pentecostal Church. Where were we? Captivity. So all these man-made religions, the common factor behind them is they were all created when we were asleep, because otherwise they cannot deceive us or create a religion where we knew our laws. We knew the fathers. That's like if you seen not too long ago, you have King Leopold did a speech at the Berlin Conference. And in this speech, he said that we don't teach them about God to know God because many of them know the God of their ancestors. We want to establish and keep the interests of Belgium. That was the only purpose. They knew that we knew God, but they had to create a new form of religion or use their theology or to indoctrinate us to uphold the values and interests of the ruling nation or the ruling society, the dominant force. All right. So that's why in now in Acts 22 it says the laws of the fathers and the traditions of the fathers was the laws of God. But you uphold the traditions of the oppressors. You uphold the traditions of your colonizer. Now, let's go to James 1, verse 26.
The book of James, chapter 1 and verse 26. If any man among you seem to be religious and bridleth not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is vain. Pure religion and undefiled before God, and the Father is there.
And undefiled before God. Religion is supposed to be pure. You're supposed to be undefiled from God. Go on.
To visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction, and to keep himself unspotted from the world.
And keep yourself unspotted from the world. So it says pure religion and undefiled before God, and the Father is this. It's funny, it says God and the Father. But that's another lesson. That's another lesson. So it says pure religion and undefiled before God and the Father. So now, what is purity? Get me Psalm chapter 19, verse 8.
The book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 8. The statutes of the
Everything goes back to the laws of God, no matter how you spin it, flip it, twist it. It goes back to the laws of God all over again. But the issue is this: there's so many layers of deception, so many layers of the onion which needs to be peeled back in order to get to your spirit, where the laws of God are supposed to dwell naturally. We are spiritual beings created from God to keep his laws, but the flesh intervenes. And what happens is our flesh is fed with the lies from society. And the lies from society is layers of deception. Layers of deception which goes deep. And it's hard to peel back because there's different this mind, our way of thinking. And when it comes to the simplicity of the Bible, it's hard to understand. It's hard to receive or perceive because why? The layers of deception and indoctrination, in which we receive, in which we've been under for what? Centuries, over 400 years in this country. Christianity beating us. It's been repeated to us over and over and over and over again. It's like the song that never ends. It's constantly infused in our mind, into our psyche, where we walk around as zombies. Now it's just pure religion. Now back to James 1:27.
James chapter 1 verse 27. Pure religion and undefiled before God and the Father is this.
So pure religion. How to be compared? By keeping God's laws. Undefiled, because how can you be undefiled? How can you be undefiled before God? pure by the commandments. Can you just look up the word definition defiled? What does it mean to be defiled?